Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest Haul-a-thon unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. This is April O'Neil, the Mirage comics version, and also it says version 2 right here. Now, I know this is the second time they've released April. I never bought the first one. I don't know why, but I did not buy NECA's original run of Mirage Comics Turtles in 2010 or whenever it was. It might even been longer ago than that. I don't remember exactly. Some of these figures have been just reissues of those, which is very disappointing in the case of the foot soldiers because they still have the articulated toes, which I hate. But the figures still look great. But April is part of NECA's Haul-a-thon, available at Target, probably first, I would imagine. Just like everything else, they'll be available everywhere. I had to order this one. And I was shocked because so I found Pee-wee and two other Haul-a-thon figures I found in store. I didn't have to order, but this one I had not seen in store by the time it went up online. And then it took like a week to get here. And then two other things from Target got here the next day because they were delivered from a store. So whatever. Let's take a look at April. Love the packaging. I say it every single time. The style of this is great. The fact that it comes with this little Utram, whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head, and I know it's mentioned. He should be named on here. I know it's mentioned if you go to the internet listing for this, but I cannot remember what his name is. All of the credits for everybody involved with bringing this figure to life are on the bottom, which is great. Let's open it up and take a look at April O'Neil in her original look. So I thought, I'm pretty sure, because my timeline of Ninja Turtles is like slightly off in my head, because I'm almost 100% positive the toys were first. For me, that I saw the toys before I saw anything else. But then I think I got the Mirage comics from my local comic shop, the first color editions. And I remember, and I guess she wasn't colored that way, but there was a point where I remember thinking April O'Neil was supposed to be black. Because that just, to me, even this figure, really, her features just have that, she just looks that way to me. And so it was really weird in the cartoon when she was literally the whitest female ever made. But that is neither here nor there. This looks like a great interpretation of the Mirage Comics version. As I said, I do not have the original. I never had the original release that NECA put out alongside. I know that obviously they did the 4 Turtles. I don't know if there was a Splinter. Tell me in the comments if you have more knowledge of this, because I don't. In general, I like to talk about what I know, what I remember. That's more fun to me. I don't, unless it's something very special, I'm not going to sit down and like cruise the internet before I do a review, because it's just not fun. You know, like anybody can do that. So, but feel free to tell me in the comments what you remember of that line of Ninja Turtles. But I feel like it was just the Turtles, Shredder, and April. I don't remember anybody else being in that line, but again, I didn't collect it, so, you know, my memory of it is potentially a little faulty. This is, they don't always tab those in. I definitely prefer it more when they don't. Come on, little Utram guy. Oh, and we got one more little accessory here. There we go. So I actually don't remember off the top of my head either what this Utram guy's deal is. He looks very detective-y. This, I'm imagining, came a little later in the Mirage run, if not straight up like Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And once I'm done recording, I'll go get my collections. Man, that's crazy that he's got these little... Huh. What is happening? So he's got a little tiny hand. But then he's got these extra arms, but these don't look like they come out. His little pipe. This is nuts. He looks like from Mighty Boosh, that one wizard character. His hat's removable, which is fun. Anyway, moving on. Half you are not even going to know what I'm talking about with Mighty Boosh. It's a TV show. It's hilarious. All right. We'll figure those tentacles out in a minute. First, let's take a look at April. Who, I mean, pretty clearly looks black to me. Trying to figure out her ankle situation. I love the purple sneakers. I love the fact that they don't have toe joints and that they are modern. So I wonder if that's why this gets a specific reference. I feel like that ankle's got to turn because there's no way it's designed off. Well, I don't know, maybe. It just seems odd that it's kind of crooked like that, but she stands, so whatever. So those turtles from the original Mirage releases, or Mirage, from NECA's original Mirage comics releases. Oh, I bet the original April didn't have double jointed elbows either. But the turtles were the ones, the early issues turtles. And then the newer ones that they did are from the later issues. Yeah, I bet that one didn't. Well, she might have had double jointed knees. I'm not positive. Because the foot soldiers, I think, I don't know. I'm going to have to go look those up and see what the articulation was like on those. Because I know they're kind of a different level of quality and articulation from other things NECA was doing at the time. So they might be a little bit of a step up from what I'm thinking. So she's got her big hoop earrings. She almost actually looks maybe a little more Latina than black here. But O'Neill, I don't know. I love the way they do sort of the ink look of these. And I'm not generally a fan of cell shading and that kind of thing. But because these are so specifically those Mirage comics, I love it in this instance. The colors are nice and rich and deep. Plastic feels good. The figure feels sturdy. It's got all your standard NECA articulation. Got a swivel up there at the top of the bicep that is pretty well concealed just because of the way her jacket is done. She's got a ball joint at the waist with a lot of movement. And you can see you've even got the detailed sculpt of the pockets underneath there. We could potentially see another release of April like without the jacket or something. I could see that. Hair looks great. There's paint. So you got a couple of different colors in there making it look great. And I mean, it's still wild. And I hate that I keep talking about this, but it's only out of admiration. I was a NECA collector in the days when you had to look at every sample of a figure and get the one that was the least like wonky-eyed. And now, I mean, their stuff is just on point. So we've got wrist joints there. Of course, some swappable hands. We'll take a look at those in a minute. Just the precision, detail, everything about this figure. It's great. This is a great release. I mean, April's a critical character. You have to have the figure. But this just looks amazing. Everything about her. All right, so let's take a look at our little Utram weirdo. He looks great. He's got a lot of character in that face. And I feel like these tentacles have to pop out, but they don't. Oh, wait. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, I don't think I need to zoom in. So I was thinking they popped out here, even though clearly the alternates are on little pegs. It just didn't seem like this would be a separate piece, but I guess it is. And I don't know why. Oh, so check this out. I wish I had one of the other Utrams here, but it's just not reasonable to go up and go grab one. But you can see this is a separate piece. So that bottom, oh, interesting. That bottom part is probably standard Utram, and then the head is unique to this fellow. Haha. Gosh, I just, NECA's so clever. So he is presumably sort of tipping his hat with this one, even though it doesn't quite line up. I mean, I'll take it. He's got his little tiny pipe that we are absolutely putting in his mouth right now. Well, maybe not right now, because I want to see what the other... He's got this little spray can, which, I mean, that looks kind of turtley, doesn't it? I'm going to have to track this comic down and figure out where this comes from. He has got this little jar, nondescript jar, but that would be this. So is he painting, perhaps? Because that jar goes in that tentacle. And then he's got a little brush. This is so wacky. And then he's got a little tiny pickaxe, too. Is he an archaeologist? Is he more Indiana Jones? I have got to track this down. This is crazy. I don't know how. I'm going to have to wait until I find out which comic this is from and read it to decide which tentacles I want to pose him with. But I'm going to, for right now, we're just to see how well they swap out. I'm going to have to turn his jar over. No, I'm not. Okay, there we go. So there's that. There's his little brush. I think I might have those in the wrong hands. Or that needs to turn around maybe, but whatever. That is a ridiculous amount of interactivity, stuff to fiddle with, whatever, for such a tiny little figure that in any other line would have been just a slug. Is that in his mouth now? It is. You can barely tell when it pops in. This is ridiculous. Wow. Okay. So there's that. And then finally, we've got alternate hands for April. She's got fists for punching. Oh, I can zoom back out here. Fist for punching, a couple of C grips that don't interact with anything because she has no accessories at this point. But there you go. April O'Neil and Utram companion. And I'm telling you, I don't even have like a glimmer in the back of my brain as to what his deal is. I'm excited to go look this up. And of course, to read your comments as you tell me. So there it is, April O'Neil and Utram friend. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.